The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because He has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, and the day of the vengeance of our God.
God has led us to start an orphanage for babies with AIDS. But it's been a huge blessing just to see these brand new Thai Christians kind of realizing that God is about more than just transforming their heart, that He's about transforming society, that this will be a ministry out of that church, that it will be the members that are volunteering time there and are loving babies and holding babies. Once we open this and once we are being that arm of mercy to these babies, that people in the community and the social workers that we'll work with and the doctors and just the whole network of people that this is going to open up will see that the church is a place that does more than just talk about the spiritual aspect of people's lives. So.
Woo! You're going to love these girls here, man. We're going to check out our Abundant Life Home girls. All our girls have HIV, and when I see their little faces, I get teary-eyed, because this is part of the reason God brought us here, to help out, kids like this, and they just have become family. So often they'll come over to our house and just hang out with our kids and get on the trampoline and stuff.
Right in the beginning, we took in a group of 5 boys that were HIV positive and then 2 babies that were HIV positive, and hired a young Thai girl to be the nighttime nanny. And she was very anti-Christianity and very just hard-hearted towards the whole thing. But when she came to work for us, she fell in love with this baby, and he was a month old. And so she began to fast as a Buddhist. She fasted for 10 days for his healing, but at the same time she's praying to God, and she's saying, okay, God, if you're really real, then heal this baby. And at the same time she says, and if you heal Apilak, this baby, I'll give my heart to you. A few months later we go take a blood test, because there's really a very slim chance that this child would have had a chance to not be HIV positive, because his mom never took medication while she was alive. She died. And the doctor says, I don't believe it, but this child is no longer HIV positive. So we're just crying and celebrating, and even the doctor's all teary-eyed, and we're just so happy. And right away I just think about Thai, and I'm like, hey, she made God a promise. So on the way home from the hospital, we just stopped by the shop where she works and just made eye contact, and I just said, you ready? And she was just like, I'm ready. She's just like, what do I have to do to be saved? Just like the Bible, like just word for word, and went on to just become a total fireball for the Lord. Like just gives testimony everywhere, whether she's at the market or she's at the doctor with the kids, or she's sitting with the kids in the waiting room, and people go, are those all your kids? And she's like, well, actually, let me tell you about what God did in my life, right? And how He led her to be the house mom. And
we call one of our miracle children. Little Apilak was healed of HIV. He's HIV free now. So Karen, my wife, has a mandate to help kids with HIV. So we gotta be careful if they keep getting healed, because the mandate is HIV kids, but we'll take them. Little Bing Bing there. Chen! Chen! Wow, 1, 2, Thai. Oh man, I couldn't even share her story for 2 months without crying. I kind of now, capture myself and go, okay, I'm gonna say this without crying. But we got her, and she was a broken child.
What happened is the government actually intervened and took her away from a mom who was a prostitute and a drug addict, and just was an unfit mother, and was taking her along to the streets of Bangkok and forcing her to beg, and possibly some other stuff. There's just a call of God on this little girl's life. She had never heard the name of Jesus, never heard the story of Jesus, and so that first night as we're doing devotions before the kids sleep, she was just like, wow, like this is great news, and now loves to be on the kids worship team, and loves to pray, and just any chance she can get, just wants to give testimony to the fact that God called her out of a life that was really quite horrific. into a home where she feels loved and she knows that she's a child of God, and had never really been to school up until this point, and now is reading Thai fluently, which Thai is really hard, even for Thai people. And so her teachers are saying, you know, she's probably a gifted or talented child, just the way that she's picked up everything so quickly, and picked up Thai dance and just everything that she's been exposed to, the keyboard, learning instruments. We're just confident that God has a really special call on her life. One thing I have loved, and that I feel like God is really creating a passion in me for, is just being able to see the Thai people, actually the Thai believers, be willing to lose face as far as like, oh, you're associated with HIV people, all for the sake of the gospel. And I really think that the church is going to grow as we see believers willing to do that. I never would have thought that an HIV orphanage was actually going to enhance church planting and actually grow it. So I just want to encourage you, if you've got some dream that you just don't see how that really is going to grow the church worldwide, God can use it.